Cars as far as the eyes can see. The car terminal in Bremerhaven, Germany is one of Europe's largest mobility hubs. Founded in 1827, the port has grown into a major logistics center on the North Sea coast. Each year, over 4,000 ships are handled here, and more than 1.5 million vehicles are transshipped, many of them bound for destinations across the globe. As one of Germany's most important export gateways, Bremerhaven ranks among the largest car ports in the world. While operations often run at full speed, there's one rule that's non-negotiable. These high-value goods must not be damaged. That calls for steady nerves, especially from the instructors and drivers who move the vehicles with precision. Up to 70,000 vehicles can be parked on site. Car trading in the era of globalization. At Europe's largest car workshop, imported vehicles from all around the world are customized and prepared for the market. There is no limit to size. In the high-end heavy zone, XXL machines roll in and out. Sometimes all they need is a good wash. The car terminal in Bremerhaven offers a rare look behind the scenes of a giant import-export machine. The day begins early in the high-end heavy area, where cargo is anything but standard, tall, wide, and massive in weight. What lies in this barge may not be particularly tall, but very, very heavy.
Everything comes through here, from the smallest car to the largest tank. We will move everything here. We get tractors, harvesters, anything big and heavy.
This morning, heavy road construction machinery needs to be unloaded onto the shore. These machines are used for milling asphalt and pavement. They will be lifted off the barge with the help of a crane. Hard work for both the crew and the equipment.
We're now unloading the construction machinery that's on the ship. These are the 11 Widgen, and then we'll drive them here to the parking space. The only difficulty is making sure it has enough ballast and that it's properly positioned, that we drive it as far away from the crane as possible so that it can get up straight.
The milling machines, made in Germany, weigh up to 40 tons. They arrived in Bremerhaven by river and will continue their journey to destinations around the world. Heavy and highly valuable, these machines require extreme care during unloading. Anyone standing beneath a suspended load when it's being lifted off the ship is at risk.
There can be difficulties when we're on site, when we're unloading and taking stuff off the ship. It can go well, but there might be a crane failure, or a belt could break. If we do everything correctly, nothing should go wrong.
Everything depends on precision and speed. Every detail matters. Before each lift, the fabric-covered steel cables must be thoroughly checked. Even the smallest tear or weakness could cause a 40-ton load to crash to the ground. The crane itself needs a stable base and a massive counterweight. It needs to be positioned as close as possible to the milling machines. If the crane is too far away, it could tip over. In total, 11 machines, each weighing several tons, are carefully lifted from the ship and placed on solid ground. Thanks to their experience and teamwork, the crew completes the task quickly and safely.
We'd calculated with 2.5 hours. We were 1 hour quicker, so very good and fast. No incidents.
The Elbe Highway, operated by Kess Shipping, has arrived and docked at the designated quay. It came from Finland, loaded with cargo. As the loading ramp is slowly lowered, the work begins. The Elbe Highway must be unloaded. It may be small by car carrier standards, but it still holds around 1,000 vehicles. To unload the cargo safely and without damage, calmness and oversight are essential. Because the ship is docked parallel to the harbor wall, a hydraulic ramp is positioned along the quay. The crew carries out the maneuver with practiced composure. But it won't stay quiet for long. The cars are securely parked across 7 levels. One by one, they roll down the ramp, from the freighter to the port's massive parking area. To ensure everything runs smoothly, shift manager Lisa Seegelken gathers her team. It's going to be a busy day.
These are the assignment sheets for my operators and bus drivers. They can see their assigned tasks and who's going with them. They can confirm that everyone is present, on board and on time. That's how we ensure a smooth start to each trip. We want to unload the ship. There are almost 1,000 cars on board. It's important that our drivers and other crew understand their tasks for the day. What vehicles are we dealing with? What models? Where are their assigned parking spots? We can't just park the cars randomly. The terminal is divided into different blocks with individual rows and spots. Each vehicle has an assigned spot. That way, the next person can find it easily. Whether it's the truck driver who's picking them up, or whether we're moving the vehicle by train or by ship, we always know their exact locations to retrieve them.
The drivers and operators have arrived. Shift manager Lisa Seegelken is in charge. Calm, confident, and respected by the team. She knows the operation inside and out. The tone on site is friendly but direct.
The Elbe Highway is our ship, currently moored at C2. This is a special case. Our unloading area spans from A to Z. It's going to be great. With 20 drivers, we need to unload 975 cars by the end of the shift. Remind everyone, our top priorities are quality and caution. We're mostly dealing with Mercedes A-Class and GT models. It doesn't look like we'll need a steel plate. Only the tires are allowed to touch the ground. Damage must be avoided. Please emphasize to the drivers how important it is to be careful.
It takes a cool head, calm nerves, and a good plan to stay in control.
If you want to work in a male-dominated field, you need the right mindset. As long as you know what you're doing, you can succeed. If you treat people with respect, they'll respect you in return. So far, I'm getting along well with my colleagues. And they get along with me, as far as I know. So I've had no issues.
The plan is to keep things running smoothly. The bus drivers and operators begin their work. Although everything has been discussed, shift manager Lisa Seegelken heads to the ship to double-check that all processes are on track. She stays in constant contact with her team via walkie-talkie.
Yeah, that's no problem. Let's switch to channel E1.
Today, Hundreds of small cars were unloaded from a container ship. It's unclear which European country they're headed to. To prevent scratches during transport, each vehicle is wrapped in protective foil. Because one thing is certain, no new car is ever delivered with damaged paint. That applies to all vehicles, from large luxury vehicles to small, affordable, compact cars. It's now up to Murat Uzunhan to carefully remove the protective foil from each vehicle.
I have to make sure that there are no scratches on the cars. I don't wear jewelry while working. I'm in charge of 120 cars a day. It's important to take care of the paintwork to avoid any damage before the cars are cleaned. We do have wedges, but I rarely use them because of potential paint damage. I use my fingernails instead. That works. I don't need a wedge.
Murat Uzunhan must work carefully. This is a demanding manual task. That's why he prefers using his hands rather than tools. Every hood, roof, and trunk door are covered in protective foil. And while car paint is durable, the foil should be removed with care. Murat works piece by piece, where instinct is essential.
I've been doing this for 7 years, every day. It's my main task.
7 years have left their mark on his hands, all in service of brand new cars.
I don't need to cut anything.
But not all foil comes off easily.
There are sports cars like the Hyundai Santa Fe that have a difficult foil, but I take everything off.
The removed foil is disposed of and recycled on site. Several kilograms of plastic wrap are collected here every day. Plastic waste, which has often traveled halfway around the globe before ultimately ending up in Germany's recycling system.
The vehicles have had a long journey. They were on the ship for 2 or 3 weeks. Some were sitting in the harbor for a time. Cars can get dirty. Films and adhesive residues must be removed before delivery to the dealers. The cars have to be in perfect condition.
Once the foil has been removed, the next team member takes over, driving the cars straight to the car wash.
When the cars are taken here by the boss, the hood is opened because it may be necessary to check the battery. Before we drive into the car wash, we close the hood and then we look for the key. The manufacturers specify where the key should be. Then you take it and drive off.
André Rupsch only has a short drive ahead of him. This small car needs to be taken to the wash bay, located right in the heart of the Autotech area. Before the vehicle can go through the automated wash system, André has to loosen the dirt by hand.
The car is cleaned with a cleaning agent. We use a brush. We make sure that everything is spotless.
The car wash operates like an assembly line. It's nearly impossible to count how many cars André Rupsch processes in a single day.
During the day, we usually have 4 employees. We process 300 to 400 cars each day. So each person drives about 100 cars.
As soon as the white compact car disappears into the wash, another one rolls up. It's like this every minute. The system automatically detects the dimensions of each vehicle. The car wash uses water that does not pollute the environment, neither groundwater nor wastewater. An advanced recycling system at Autotech filters and reuses every drop. Each car wash cycle lasts 7.5 minutes. To accommodate hundreds of cars a day, vehicles must pass through the nozzles, brushes, and dryers at close intervals.
We work with new cars here. Some are dirtier than others. It's always the same process for us. All our employees receive regular training. We have team leaders and an internal quality management. We always have to maintain the same standard. We owe that to our clients.
After the car wash, a small transformation begins for the little car from the Far East. Like all vehicles that arrive here, it's being prepared for the European market.
That's a Mitsubishi Space Star. I take the inspection booklet and the onboard literature for the Mitsubishi Space Star, and then I put them in the car.
Even if the work may seem repetitive, Björn Lenkheit can't afford to lose focus or rush, because the next car is already approaching.
We can only wash as many cars as the system allows, which is around 400 a day. Every car that goes through here is interesting. You can see the cars of tomorrow.
This onboard literature is available in nearly all languages. For every vehicle, the correct language must be matched, and the operating manual must correspond exactly to the right model. If not, it could lead to confusion or a poor experience for the customer. That's where attention to detail is crucial. Department head Martin Hess oversees this area. He expects absolute thoroughness, precision, and cleanliness from his team. Before any vehicle leaves this section, he personally inspects it. In a way, he's a living seal of approval. Like everyone at the terminal, Martin Hess shares one thing in common: a passion for cars.
I've been fascinated by several professions since I was a kid. They all had to do with cars. The variety of models is what makes it special and exciting. All the new cars come through here with the latest technology. This is a great job for me.
After being washed and equipped with a logbook in the local language, the journey of the new car continues. Back with supervisor Lisa Segelken, she makes her way toward the freighter Elbe Highway, which has just arrived in port.
We have 975 Mercedes A-Class and GT models to unload. They're spread across decks 1 through 7. We'll take a look. All the bus drivers should be here. We'll drive in and start getting the vehicles out.
What does it look like inside the ship? It's like a swarm of bees in motion, yet every move follows a precise plan.
This is the main driving deck. Most of the cargo is located here. The drivers are getting out now and climbing into the vehicles. We always unload in stages. Right now we're dealing with the ship's beams, which make things a bit more difficult. But by unloading in steps, we avoid unnecessary waiting. The car is moved from the front row, then from the row behind it, creating a sort of staircase effect. That allows up to 5 drivers to set off at once. That's how we organize it, so that we can be more efficient.
The challenge? The entire ship must be unloaded within 6 hours before it sets sail again. The 20 drivers need to carefully unload 6, ideally 7 cars off the freighter each hour. But there's no room for rushing. No other car may be touched in the process.
All damage from the rear ramp is our responsibility. We don't want to be held accountable for something we didn't cause.
Despite years of experience and countless ships, this unloading is still a test for the team.
Of course, it's a challenge for the guys when they're doing 6.5 tours an hour. It's never exactly planned out, and that's a bit of a thrill.
One of the drivers is Eugen Scheffing. Even under pressure, he sticks to his routine.
We get a good training, and we do it regularly. Today we have to move 6.5 cars per hour, multiplied by 7 hours. Then you're at 49 rides, and you're so focused, you've already got it down. First, you check whether the vehicle has a scratch. That's a given. Then you get in, look in the mirrors on the left and right to see if you have enough space, and check if they're not too tightly stowed.
However, not all cars are the same, even for an experienced driver.
We get a copy of the vehicle information in advance. Most cars are similar, but there are differences with the new Chinese models. You should read through the information carefully to familiarize yourself with it. Remember, you must treat every vehicle as if it were your own.
Eugen will drive nearly 50 cars off the ship today, safely bringing around 2 million euros worth of cargo ashore. Once the cars reach solid ground, the next phase begins, scanning on the key. This step is referred to as a shot. Supervisor Lisa Seegelken is closely monitoring operations here as well. She trusts her team, but staying in control is crucial.
Where are you going? What's going on? Yeah, okay. I didn't say anything.
Each car has a barcode. Just like at a supermarket checkout, this barcode is scanned. Then a new barcode sticker is printed and placed on the windshield. Now, the car is registered in the system and assigned a temporary parking space on the key. What used to be managed with pen and paper is now handled by booking software. With thousands of nearly identical vehicles, it would be almost impossible to keep track of everything without this system in place. Almost every car already has an owner waiting for it, like this one, destined for Australia. Driver Eugen Scheffing navigates a luxury sports car worth 82,000 euros into its assigned space.
That's a nice car. Mercedes A-Class, AMG.
He's not allowed to leave a single fingerprint or mark on the interior.
The top priority is that the vehicles are clean. That's the most important thing for us.
The team continues to drive the cars off the ship. They are slowly filling row after row on the vast terminal lot. It's going to be a long day of intense focus for Supervisor Lisa Seegelken and her team.
Overall, everyone is really careful. People here know they're working with valuable goods and that there's usually a customer behind each one waiting. If something goes wrong, they might have to wait for months. That's just not acceptable.
But time is pressing.
If we don't finish on time, we may need to call in an additional team to finish the job. We'll need new bus drivers, new drivers, new supervisors. We want to avoid that because it would affect our productivity. We must complete the job so the ship can depart on time.
On the bridge of the Elbe Highway, a sense of calm prevails. However, Polish captain Igor Zawierski is aware of the valuable cargo below deck. But once in port, it's out of his hands. His role ends with the safe journey from Finland to Bremerhaven.
Cargo sometimes is double, triple, or several times more worth than vessel itself. Cars, and especially the new cars, are very sensitive cargo, of course, here, because the grain or coil or whatever hasn't got such a sensitivity to be damaged, because even the smallest scratch on your car which you just bought is a big disaster.
Although he has visited many ports, arriving in Bremerhaven is always something special for him.
I think for Germany and for European cargo and worldwide cargo as well, this is a special hub. Yeah.
Despite the immense size of the Elbe Highway, the steel giant is operated by a crew of just 14 men. The captain is a dedicated sailor with 20 years of experience.
There are two types of captain. One who feel afraid when he can see the land, and the second one who feel afraid when cannot see the land. So I'm the second type.
From the railing, he watches as car after car is unloaded from his ship.
Basically, it's a chief mate's job, but captain must be aware what kind of cargo is there and how is it stowed, where is it stowed, and to know what you got on board. For us, it's a cargo like a cargo.
It must be empty within 6 hours. Then it's off again. All Igor Zawierski can do now is wait and trust that everything goes smoothly below deck. Just a few meters from the car wash area lies the Autotech workshop. But this is no ordinary garage. Here, hundreds of brand new off-the-shelf cars are customized and modified according to customer specifications. Mechatronics engineers André Erdbrink and Anastasia Siebenlist are currently installing a tow bar on a Kia, which is almost standard for this model. The installation can be simple or more complex, depending on the equipment and configuration of the vehicle.
Some models need to have the bumper removed. Somebody has to assist with that. It's challenging to install or remove alone.
He depends on his colleagues' help during assembly. Outdated role models have no place here.
We have another female colleague who's currently on vacation. It's good that it's not just a male domain. So why not?
It's quite normal these days. Most people think it's cool that I work here.
Installing a tow bar typically takes around 2 hours, which means that a maximum of 4 tow bars can be installed in one day. 400 people work in the Autotech division. Many of them work simultaneously in the workshop to put new cars together. Each employee must be careful not to scratch or damage the vehicles.
The interior panels are all clipped. You have to be careful not to break them, especially when it's cold. The bumper has to be cut out, but you mustn't scratch it. It's almost routine if you always do it and stay focused.
It may be hard to believe, but this is where radios, navigation systems, and hands-free kits are installed, complete with the wiring. There's a reason for this. In Asia, where cars are produced at an astonishing speed, leaving out these components during production helps cut costs. Whether it's economically sensible to have them installed later by a German mechatronics engineer is another question entirely. By now, André Erdbrink could do it in his sleep.
Eventually, you'll discover where everything belongs.
The mechatronics engineer knows that this workshop is something very special.
Initially, it was something new, but eventually it became routine. For outsiders, it's a completely different world. I see this myself when I drive home. Many tourists stop by and are fascinated by it. For me, it's become a part of everyday life.
Was vollkommen begeisternd ist, für mich ist es mittlerweile Alltag geworden.
But one thing is still different.
Man macht sich nicht so dreckig wie in einer normalen
You don't get as dirty as in a typical car workshop. It's much cleaner work, and there's not as much pressure here.
Ansonsten.
It's more enjoyable here, more fun.
Es macht hier mehr Spaß.
A few meters of wiring harness have been installed. The radio is in place. Only one final test remains.
Erstmal kurz.
Now, the car is ready for the German customer. It's getting high and heavy again at the Bremerhaven car terminal. The next shipment of valuable cargo is being pulled onto the quay by a tugboat. The Titania, measuring 231 meters long and 32 meters wide, has just arrived from the United States. On board the impressive ship are tractors and agricultural machinery destined for international markets, all made in America. These commercial vehicles, instantly recognizable by their brand-specific green color, are considered the Rolls-Royce of agricultural machinery. They're in such high demand across Europe that daily deliveries to Bremerhaven have become the norm.
These are our large tractors from Waterloo. They come from Waterloo and are manufactured in the factory there. They are for the German market. They are delivered to the sales partners who have ordered the machines. Then they go to the customer, and soon we'll be out in the field.
Employees must be able to handle these vehicles with over 900 horsepower. Fortunately, the continuously variable automatic transmission makes driving these machines relatively straightforward. The real challenge is that the tractors from America are extremely valuable. Even though they'll soon be put to work in the fields, they must arrive in perfect condition, without a single scratch. And that's a reasonable expectation, considering the purchase price ranges from €250,000 to €500,000. So far, the feedback from American manufacturers has been consistently positive.
We have our new, larger series hauler here for the first time on German soil. You could say from 300 horsepower to 830 horsepower, that is a total engine output of 900 horsepower that we produce in Waterloo, and now have here in Bremerhaven. Yeah, the factory in Waterloo is very interesting, but it's also very interesting to see how everything comes off the ship here.
It takes about 12 weeks for a tractor to arrive at the farmer's premises after leaving the factory in the USA. Once the tractor departs the country, it must first clear customs and then be parked at the high-end heavy site before continuing its journey. Here, close to cranes, buses, excavators, road milling machines, fire engines, trucks, and dump trucks. For every high and heavy item that arrives dirty in Bremerhaven, there is a dedicated washing facility. The facility itself is also high and heavy.
Here we prepare all vehicles for further transportation by road and on water. Most of the vehicles go to the USA or Australia. We clean them here.
If you're looking for high-tech solutions in the car wash, you're in the wrong place. Here, manual labor is the standard.
We do everything manually because every vehicle we process here has different shapes and sizes. That's why it doesn't work with rollers. We don't have a car wash like the ones used for cars. It's time-consuming, so it doesn't just take 10 minutes for a machine like this, but up to 2 hours, depending on how dirty it is. But after that, it's spotless. Then you can send it on its way.
This 5-axle crane weighs 160 tons and is set to be shipped to Australia. The country has strict regulations regarding cleanliness and hygiene. There are concerns about invasive species, such as pests, that can present significant challenges.
Last time we had trailers going to Australia, and we did 12 to 13 of them in one shift during the day. Then you know what you've done during the shift. That's intense. It's not bad if you have a few extra muscles. Then it's okay.
Gerd Hetwer and his colleagues have a motto: nothing is impossible.
There's nothing unusual here. Everything is unique. Of course, when the cranes arrive, you know exactly what a Liebherr model looks like. Vehicles can't be said to be unusual across the board. Every vehicle is different. You can't generalize. Each one is different.
The cleaning process is ongoing. It involves manual labor and attention to detail.
The things that have been foamed will be washed off. The machine should then be ready to continue its journey.
After about an hour, he summarizes the XXL hand wash.
We can be satisfied. We can hand it over to our customers. Looks nice.
The work is complete. A short break is allowed. 3 trucks are waiting outside the car wash.
Then we continue.
Driver Dennis Lampe will deliver a truckload of new vehicles to 4 car dealerships today.
My job here is to take 6 cars and bring them to the client.
It may seem straightforward, but it will require time. He has already rehearsed each of the next steps many times.
The only thing we have to do here now is to extend the trailer at the back because of the loading length. Pull out the ramps and lower the air suspension so that it has a bit more space and the ground clearance is as low as possible. A low-riding car has to fit on it.
This enhances safety and prevents damage to vehicles. Dennis Lampe operates independently and handles everything alone.
I usually work alone unless I have a trainee with me. Then it's the 2 of us. Otherwise, I'm my own boss. That's nice. Let's load the first car now, moor it, and then continue.
The preparations are complete. Now, the more challenging and often tricky part of the job begins. Lampe must drive 6 cars onto the ramp without a guide and secure them in place. Before doing this, he must make sure that the vehicles are in pristine condition.
I have a mirror to look under the front bumper to see if the vehicle has touched down during the loading or unloading. I'm not allowed to move it until I've checked that. If I move the car and it's damaged, it's my problem. Then we have to pay for it. That's why we take the mirror and check everything, look underneath. Then everything is fine. You could also use your finger, but that's not nice if the car is dirty or wet. If there's something sharp, you'll cut yourself too. We don't want that.
Und wenn es ein etwas scharfkantigerer Kratzer ist, schneidet sie auch gerne in den Finger. Und das wollen wir ja alles nicht.
He needs to pay special attention to electric cars, for a good reason.
Ich kann halt bei einem E-Auto
With an electric battery that has the battery in the middle under the car, I can make sure that the battery casing is intact.
Wäre die irgendwie beschädigt oder
If it's damaged, we won't be able to move the car.
verladbar.
If we don't know whether the battery is damaged or, in the worst case, if it starts to burn, we don't touch the car.
Dann würden wir ihn stehen lassen.
You can see that with the mirror.
There is no damage to this car. If any abnormalities are found, a processing chain will be set in motion.
Wenn ein Kratzer jetzt gefunden
If a scratch was found or a part was missing from the accessories,
gibt's hier
I call my colleagues.
eine Schadenstelle, die würde ich anrufen.
They would send staff out to document the fault.
Rausschicken, der wird den
I sign it off on my loading list and then I'm out.
dokumentieren, wird mir das auf meiner Ladeliste
Then it is written off as damaged previously. It's no longer my problem.
Vorschaden, dann ist das nicht mehr
It's
mein
easier for me and the customer if it's intact.
Kunden einfacher, wenn es heil ist.
It looks good so far.
Sieht soweit gut aus.
Preliminary damage does occur, but it's relatively rare. This makes it even more important to check everything closely.
Wenn es schlecht läuft,
On bad days, we might have 3 cars damaged.
nichts mehr. Hängt
On others, there are none at
ein
all.
bisschen davon ab, wo die
It also
Autos
depends on where the car is coming from.
ist, aber im
Overall,
Großen
things are looking good.
sind die Autos sehr gut in Ordnung.
The mid-range car from the Far East is now ready to be transported to the dealer. Dennis Lampe carefully drives the vehicle onto the truck, in reverse. All set. Now, Dennis Lampe needs to secure the car in place.
Ich muss jetzt einfach
I have to make sure that I secure the vehicle according to the law. I secure the wheels diagonally with 2 wheel chocks and a strap. Or I could secure the rear wheel on the other side with 2 wheel chocks and a lashing strap. But as the wheel's in the recess with the tires behind it, this counts as a wheel chock. I just have to put a strap over it and put another strap over it on the other side. Then we drive up the platform. And then the next one comes.
Hier hoch und dann kommt der nächste. Gurt verlieren wäre doof.
Losing a strap would be annoying. Losing a wheel chock, even worse. They're made of solid steel.
Drüber fährst, das zerreißt
They'd tear
alles.
everything apart if you drove over them.
Und, es ist ja einfach
The
so,
unused straps and wheel chocks also count as part of the load.
oder die Radvorleger
That's
sind
why
nicht
they
genug.
all have to be stowed and secured on the truck.
Deswegen müssen die alle wirklich
And that's my
transportsicher auf dem
responsibility.
LKW verstaut und befestigt sein.
If something happens, it costs money and puts people at risk.
Sicherung, Gepunkte, kostet
We want to
teuer Geld.
avoid that.
Gefährdet eventuell Menschen und das wollen wir nicht.
He usually goes on day trips, but today he's only going to Emsland. Lampe will be picking up a total of 6 new vehicles today, including 2 heavy plug-in hybrids. Navigating through the numerous vehicles at the terminal can be a time-consuming task. It takes him about an hour to find the cars he needs. It's crucial that he selects the right vehicles.
Die Schlüssel sind drin,
The keys are inside.
weil
Because with the thousands of cars here, you can't logistically manage to put the keys in a cabinet and take them back to the cars.
logistisch nicht hin.
That's too much.
Es könnte ein bisschen viel sein.
If someone says, bring the keys for the black BMW,
BMW,
there are too many here.
schwarze BMW stehen hinter mir. Deswegen. Gut.
Dennis Lampe needs to drive the next car onto his trailer. Every centimeter matters. Going 1 centimeter too far could result in paint damage, while being a few centimeters too short might leave little room for the next vehicle. A nervous foot on the gas pedal could lead to disaster.
You have to be extremely careful with the gas pedal, especially with electric cars. They lurch forward immediately. A combustion engine, on the other hand, builds up power slowly. Even the small electric cars have a lot of power. You have to be very careful.
From this point on, any damage will be his responsibility. However, he's so experienced that it has become second nature to him, even with brand new electric cars. He has been in this profession for over 25 years, and all drivers receive training once a year.
Let me put it this way. Anyone who's not a total blockhead can do this job.
A sensitive touch is required. Repainting must be avoided. Even a minor scratch means the entire bumper would need replacement, which would be costly. He needs to retrieve some cars from a farther location on foot. The specific details are provided on the loading list, which he uses to plan how to load his truck.
Here, this shows the vehicle types with chassis number, parking space, and end customer, where it's going. Then I have to look at the order in which I drive to the customers. What's the best way to load it so that it doesn't get too high, and that I get the weight distribution right. That's all there is to it.
Loading the trailer must be carefully planned for several reasons. Every reloading carries a risk of damage. It's important to load the trailer as they will be delivered to the dealers. This minimizes the risk. Additionally, the truck needs to be driven as calmly as possible. It's best to position the heavier vehicles at the front of the trailer. Some of the cars he collects here have never been seen before.
It's funny, sometimes someone mentions a new car that is coming out, and I can say that I've already sat in it.
His work at the terminal is nearly finished. Before the journey begins, Lampe must ensure his load is not too high.
This is a height measuring pole. I can already see whether I'm within the 4 meters legal height. I don't have to be too exact because we also have a digital display. If I'm too high, I can change it.
The measurement is 3.9 meters. Dennis Lampe is in the clear. His task is complete. After an hour, all 6 cars are securely loaded. Now, the journey from the terminal to the car dealership begins. 6 cars out of thousands are leaving the premises. Supervisor Lisa Seegelken is overseeing the final stage of the freighter's unloading. By now, the drivers have removed most of the cars from the ship's hold. The parking lot by the quay is nearly full, and her shift is drawing to a close. After a fast-paced day, she reflects on the day's work.
We managed everything exactly according to plan. We had no incidents. That's very positive. All the cars are where they belong. I'm going to head into the office now, finish the final reports, write the shift plans, and make sure that everything is in order. Then I'll call it a day.
Her day may be done, but the car terminal keeps running. In Bremerhaven, operations continue around the clock. Tomorrow, cargo ships will once again arrive and depart from this mega terminal, carrying vehicles destined for Germany, Europe, and beyond.